journal. I'm actually going to read some notes. Let's do it. Look at this wisteria. Oh my goodness. Can you see that? You hear those birds? Ah, gorgeous. I saw 2 turkeys walk by just a few minutes ago, and there's a family of deer eating right over there. Nature. I've pretty much completed Faraway's score. Today, I think I'm done. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll add to it. But as of right now, it's done, and I can't wait to share it with you. I've made progress on that piece of music for my own personal work, which I'm really happy about. The more I work on a project, the more I know I can keep working and keep learning. I can keep moving forward, and I can figure out what that next body will look like. In that vein, over the last week, a few different times this has happened. This will be a little bit of a ramble. It's why I want to keep it short, because I know I won't be able to keep it as short as I'd like to. I'll use yesterday as an example. Yesterday I was a day after many different gigs doing sound work, and I was really physically and mentally fatigued. So I was just letting myself lounge around. And at one point I was on the internet, and there was somebody had posted something saying, asking what certain scary natural issues or global concerns there are that people aren't talking about. That people know about, that are going on right now, that we're not talking about in mainstream media, I guess. That seemed appropriate to click into in a compromised state, so I clicked it. And I was reading and looking at all these things that are obviously potentially horrible circumstances, potentially really damaging, really scary, really overwhelming to read. And I started to get really flustered, and I turned it off. I closed my computer. And I had to start thinking about who was delivering the information and the way that it was being delivered. You know, reading the perspective of these writers, these internet folk, I was internalizing that it is futile to continue. That, you know, wow, there's really no reason to keep going. We're all gonna perish, or, you know, we're all gonna end up in a bunker somewhere because of this or because of that. And oh, there's a little kitty. What a cutie. You won't be able to see her. She's really cute. So, I stopped for a moment and I thought, you know, 30 years ago, it was a different world. I can't attest to it, I wasn't around. But it was a very different world, and there are remedies and solutions to issues that existed then, now, that we couldn't have possibly conceived. This feels important. It's a sort of important parallel, is that this is sort of that deconstruction of truth, or deconstruction of information, is integral to Faraway. So maybe that's why I've been thinking about it a lot, and maybe that's part of why I gained some tools in working on this score, and reading it over and over and thinking about it constantly. Tools against this kind of thought. I don't know, that's an aside, but yeah, so what it reassured me of something, and there's a weird logic jump. I wake up each day intertwined with my making. I feel each day that I am more and more deeply interconnected to the work that I make. Not a person apart from the work or separate from the work, but the work itself. You know, this this thing, and I see making as an attempt to heal, an attempt to share. I see making as solidarity and union, catharsis. That's how I view all of what we make. The stuff that's painful to consume, the stuff that's enjoyable, the stuff that makes you laugh, the stuff that makes you cry, the stuff that makes you think or makes you angry, or makes you discomforted. Those are all different vehicles for people to find community, communion. I think that's what it is. So I'm sitting there on my couch, about to have a mini panic attack, thinking about, oh my God, 30 years in the future, blah, blah, blah. And, I thought, I haven't even lived 30 years, so I can't speak to what another 30 years will look like. But I'm training for the day that we have to trade only in the commodity of humanity. I believe that that's the only priceless commodity is each other, right? And people talk about when money means nothing, or whatever, when the internet collapses, when society collapses, like blah blah blah. People like want to be fatalist with their approach to society, humanity, because I think, going back to whose vantage point this is, whose perspective this is, I think the people that are saying those things exist in a world that is maybe a little bit out of touch with the breath of the planet, the speed of nature, the ticking of nature. We live in these lives that I was going to say they're fabricated, and they're not fabricated, but they are superficial, sitting on top of the world that we live in, and I know that that's where a lot of us have to be. It's not choice, but it makes it seem like that's all there is, and I think that that's not true. I think that if we all end up in a bunker, evading some natural disaster, we will be there together, and it will be the storytellers and the performers and the makers who will join hands with each other and the people around them to keep humanity in the space, to bring light to the space. My hand is shaky because it's cold out. So shifting hands and shifting perspective. Look at that, beautiful. Wow. So I don't know. I firmly believe that we are fine. And that doesn't mean that we have to, or that we get a pass to not pay attention to the crises that are at hand. I think quite the opposite. Between my own personal work and the faraway work, and just dealing with myself and dealing with our world, I've been thinking about this a lot, and yeah, I don't know. So that's that. And I have spoken for longer than I thought I would. In other news, on the 16th of May, I'll be playing with 277 Dance Project in Manhattan at Gibney. Oh man, I think that's where we're playing. If you're in New York, come share space with us. I'm not sure what we're going to be playing. I think it's going to be something improvised. And other than the things that I'll be improvising live, they're using a lot of my music, and it's so cool. They keep sending me more and more stuff. They're really brilliant. So check them out, 1, and 2, come see us. in New York on the 16th of May. I think it's 7:30 or 7 o'clock. I will link to that. But other than that, I really want to get some house concerts going this summer. I have a few lined up, and obviously they're going to be private and, you know, at the whim of the people hosting. But if you're interested in hosting or having me and Claire and Doug come out, we'd love to share space with you there too. So, all right, trying to keep this one short.